Hi, this is Sam Remina here. In this video, we are going to discuss about an exam past paper, a 2008 a final exam paper, GCE paper. To be specific, section B, question 7. So question 7 was like this. In the diagram below, A and B are points on latitude 60 degrees north, while C and D are points on latitude 60 degrees south. So they're telling us to use pi to be 3.142 and r, which is the radius, in 37 nautical miles. So this is the diagram now. This is the Earth, the global. Question 1 is saying, calculate the distance BC along the longitude 60 degrees east in nautical miles. So which is 2 marks. So they want us to calculate the distance BC. BC, this distance here. Then we know that this distance is along what? The longitude. It's along the longitude. Alright, so let's use the formula for a distance along the longitude. So we know the distance formula is equal to what? Is equal to theta over 360 degrees times 2 pi r, since it's along the longitude. Where we know where theta is what? Is 3.142, r is 37 nautical miles, theta is equal to, so theta you find the difference in latitude, the difference in latitude. So B it's on what? B it's on 60 degrees north, C it's on 60 degrees south. So since they are in different position, we add them. Since they are in different position, we add them. So we add 60 degrees plus 60 degrees. If they are both on north or both on south, we would have subtracted. So theta is equal to what? 120 degrees. 120 degrees. Alright. So distance, we're looking for the distance of BC. So we say BC is equal to, what is our theta? It's 120 over 360 times 2 times 3.142 times 3437 nautical miles, like this. Alright, so from here, since this is an exam paper, try by simplifying your expression. So 12 into 12 is 1, 12 into 36 is what? Is 3. Times 2 times 3.142 times 3437 nautical miles. So BC is equal to, if you use your calculator, 1 over 3 times 2 times 3.142 times 3437, what's your answer? So the answer will be 7,199.4 nautical miles. So this is our answer. Because the question is saying, give your answer in nautical miles. This is our answer. Let's go to 2. A2. A2 is saying, a ship sails from C to D. From C to D in 12 hours. Find its speed in nautical miles. Find its speed in nautical miles. Alright. So this question is actually very simple. Very, very, very simple. Yeah. So we say question A2. Alright. So A2, first thing, we know speed. We know speed is equal to what? Distance over time. Distance over time. Now, they have tried to calculate the speed in knots. So knots actually it's the distance in nautical mile per hour. Knot is the distance in nautical mile per hour. So meaning that our distance here, our distance should be in nautical miles. In nautical miles. In nautical miles. And then of course what? Of course we have got time. So distance in nautical miles over time, this is what we call knot or knots. So knots in short, knots is nautical mile per hour. So meaning that let's calculate the distance DC in nautical miles. DC. The distance CD is along the latitude. The distance CD is along the latitude. So we use the formula. Distance is equal to theta over 360 degrees times 2 times 3 point. Alright, here I've already impressed in my mind. Alright, so let me start with the formula. Distance is equal to 2 pi r, small letter r, since it's along the latitude. Where we know small letter r is what? It's r cos x degree. So we can say the distance is equal to theta over 360 degrees times 2 times 2 pi r cos x degree. So this is the formula which we must use when we want to calculate the distance along the latitude, where theta is 3.142, and then we know theta is this, and then r is what? 3437 nautical miles. And then theta, since we are calculating the distance along the latitude, theta is a difference in the longitude. So C it's on 60 degrees east, D it's on where 60 degrees west, therefore we add them. So we say 60 plus 60, so theta is what? 120 degrees. Now what about x? X, this is an angle where our point lie. So C and D, they are along where? 60 degrees south. So x is 60 degrees. So using this information here, let's calculate the distance what? CD. Let's calculate the distance CD. So let me erase this part and leave this information here. So CD is equal to theta over 360 times 2 pi r cos x degree, where we know theta is what? 120 over 360 times 2 times theta is what? 3.142 times r is 3437 times cos what? 60 degrees. We had 60 degrees. Cos 60 degrees. Like this. So from here, just a matter of us simplifying and enjoying the calculation. So let's enjoy the calculations. Okay. So we have got CD is equal to 0, 0 cancel. 12 into 12 is 1, 12 into 36 is what? 3 times 2 times 3.142 times 3437 nautical mile times. What is cos 60? Cos 60 is 0.5. It's a half. Cos 60 is 0.5. So from here, with the help of your calculator, when you simplify this, it will give you, right, it will give you 299.9737222 nautical mile per hour. Therefore, CD is equal to, so this number, sorry, if you use your calculator, it will give you this number. It will give you 3,3599.684667 nautical miles. So this is your distance in nautical miles when you simplify this one. Okay. Now, if you want, you can actually collect it to the nearest 2 decimal, regardless of the number of decimals. But for me, I prefer to have a number of decimals because this is not our final answer. Because our question is saying, look for the speed. And what we are calculating is just a distance. Now we know that the speed is equal to distance in nautical miles over time taken. Time taken in hours, since we are looking for the knot. Where we know distance is what? 3599.684667 nautical mile over what? 12 hours. Over 12 hours. Over 12 hours. So, with the help of your calculator, when you divide 12 into our numerator, what's our answer? Our answer will be speed is equal to, it will give us 2.9, sorry, 229 9.973722 not comma per hour. So therefore we can say our speed is equal to, so the nearest whole number now, our speed will be 300 watt not comma per hour, which is knots. So we have calculated the speed from C to D to be 300 knots. Let's go to question D. Sorry, to question B. Question B. So what you must know is that math is a very simple subject, and it's meant to be enjoyed. Math is meant to be enjoyed. Let's go to B, to BI. BI is saying, determine the equation of the normal to the curve this. So the curve is given by the equation 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. The question is saying, determine the equation of the normal. So for you to determine the equation of the normal, you must first come up with the gradient function. So for you to come up with the gradient function, you use what? You use dy by dx, you differentiate. Dy by dx. So you know dy by dx of this expression is what? It's 4x minus 3. 4x minus 3. So this is your dy by dx, which is the gradient function. So a gradient function, if we have a gradient function, we can able to calculate our gradient. So let's calculate our gradient at what point? This point. Gradient at 3,7. So our gradient will be, or I'll show it as dy over dx of 4x minus 3 as x approaches what? 3. So we say gradient m is equal to 4. What is x? Is 3 minus 3. So 4 times 3 is what? 12 minus 3, which is 9. So our gradient is what? Is 9. Now, this is a gradient at this point 3,7. Now, this gradient, what you must know is this. If we have got a normal, it means that this is our curve, this is our tangent. Let's assume this is 3.7. The gradient which you have calculated here is a gradient to this tangent. Let's say gradient 1 is equal to 9. So this is a tangent. This is the gradient of the tangent at that point, at this point. Now the normal which they are talking about is this line. And what you must know is, the normal, this is our normal. The normal and the tangent, they meet at 90 degrees. And we know that the gradient of the tangent times the gradient of the normal should give you what? -1. We know the gradient of the tangent is 9 times m2 is equal to -1. So meaning that the gradient of the normal, you divide both sides by 9. So gradient of the normal is what? -1 over 9. So this is the gradient of the normal. So let's use the gradient of the normal and this point to come up now with the equation of the normal. With the equation of the normal. Okay, so let me erase this part. Okay, so it is very important for you to master the concepts on how you can calculate these simple equations. So we have got a gradient to be -1 over 9, and then the point is 3,7. So for us to find the equation, we use the formula y minus y1 is equal to gradient x minus x1, or y is equal to mx plus c, or y-intercept formula. So for me, I'm going to use this one. So make sure that for you, you try this formula using this component and check if the answer will be the same. All right. So we have got y minus y1, it's the y value which is 7, gradient is -1 over 9, x minus x1 is what? 3. This is an equation. In this equation, you have got a fraction here. How can we do a fraction? There are a number of ways on which you can do this fraction. So for me, I'll multiply throughout by the only denominator which I'm having this equation, which is 9. So 9 times y is 9y minus 9 times 7 is what? It's 63. Is equal to, here I'll remain with a negative x minus 3. So this is what I'm having. So from here it's a matter of expanding this. So I've got 9y minus 63 is equal to negative x plus 3. So this is what we are having. So let me take this to the left hand side. I'm going to have 9y, negative x to be positive x minus 63 minus 3 is equal to 0. So 9y plus x minus 66 is equal to 0. Alright, so this is the equation of the normal. Therefore, the equation of the normal at 3,7 is what? It's given by this. It's 9y plus x minus 66 is equal to 0. So this is our final answer. So we have calculated the equation of the normal. Let's go to our last question. Our last question is saying, evaluate the integral of x squared minus 2x minus 3. Okay, so this is simple integration. Simple integration. So the integral of this, where we have even been given what? The upper limit and the lower limit. So the first thing is find the integration of this expression which is inside here with respect to what? To x. So we are going to have x 2 power 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 minus 2x 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1 minus 3x. Of course, don't forget your limit, your upper limit and your lower limit. Alright, so from here we have got x to the power 3 over 3 minus 2x squared over 2 minus 3x, of which this we have 0, negative 1. So let me simplify this component here. So we are going to have x to the power 3 over 3 minus x squared minus 3x. We have got 0 to 1. So this is your upper limit, this is your lower limit. So at this stage, you must subtract the upper limit minus your lower limit after you substitute. So let's substitute and then subtract them. So upper limit you subtract whenever there is x by 1. So we are going to have 1 to the power 3 over 3 minus 1 squared minus 3, 1. This is your upper limit minus lower limit. Whenever there is x, you put what? 0. So we have got this. Okay. So 1 to the power 3 is 1. 3 minus 1 minus 3. Of course, here we have got zeros and we know the power of zeros. Okay. So from here, we have got 1 over 3 minus 4. Now we have got 1 over 3 minus 4. So what is 1 over 3 minus 4? 1 over 3 minus 4 is what? It's negative 11 over what? 3. Negative 11 over 3. Because you have 3, 1 minus 4, which is negative 11 over 3. This is the same as what? Negative 3, 2 over 3. So this is our answer. So in this video, we have discussed or we have solved question 7 of the exam past paper 008 GCE. Thank you.